there fellow humans, and welcome back to another episode of the World Project, where today we'll be talking about where you can base your animals and what interesting features you can give them. Now, disclaimer, the map is not done and you can add islands in, obviously, or you can get rid of islands which you disagree with. Be aware you will be wiping out entire species, and also we want to see some islands maybe drown in the map changing and the ice caps melting. We'll start off with it 100 million years ago, where at this point there are only 3 continents. The middle island of Jjmpart is known to host very few biodiversity. The reason for this is because there was a mass extinction on the island to do with many animals dying. What is left will evolve and will attach to the continents. There are also a lot of shallows around the island, meaning that you can put many different animals in of various levels of the sea. The next continent horizon is slowly being attached to the continent on the left. This continent has savannas, forests, and a lot of the stuff we see on Earth. It's important to note that there aren't actual trees, they are their own made-up plants which we're still working on at the moment. Some of the megafauna you can put there can be animals specialised to different biomes. You must also remember that the continent will be splitting up quite a lot in the next million years. Now, Abos is known for having a lot of fungus, so much that you can actually see it right now. Yes, that's the red stuff. They also have small mountains where you can also put animals. Now, you may notice there are not many mountains at the moment. That's because there hasn't been too much tectonic uplift. It's just as much of a savanna here as there was at the other place, and there is a lot more fungus spreading around in the northern regions. There is also a lot of ice, and although this is fairly uninhabitable, feel free to put animals there. The subcontinent which you can name is very much bigger than most islands. You see, the thing about this is that it's very split off from everywhere else, so much that it has evolved its own plants and fauna which has not actually been added yet. So feel free to go and add some specialised waterworms and whatever you want to this place, because it literally has no megafauna, and I'm really needing a lot more, because at the moment we've only got 50 submissions, and as you should know, 50 submissions for one time period is not a lot, especially going along. 100 million years ago there were many specialised water areas, including ginormous lakes which you can actually see from space, so feel free to make as many animals as you want. Now let's move on to the continent 100 million years into the future. Now let's go into the first continent, so I want to talk about Ohas and Onari. Onari is the continent on top and Ohas is the continent on the bottom. Ohas can have many genetic diversities and many split-off lineages. There are also tons of islands there, and also mountains in between the continents. On Onari, you can find a ton of forests, which you can put a bunch of diverse flora and fauna in. Also, you'll see that the Earth is getting hotter, or planet 4S46b, sorry I called it the Earth, the planet, which is basically meaning that more animals are going to have to adapt to hotter climates. Abos has now combined with a much smaller Jjmpart, and has also broken off a ton of land, which has now made its own mountain stretch. This is ginormous land which you can probably put tons of animals in. Beware there are no actual, I suppose you could say, fungus there, and fungus is actually slowly going extinct on Abos as well, so you can find ways to evolve that and make it thrive a bit more with the more dominating plants. Also on Jjmpart you'll notice that there are no more plants there, and it has had thousands of years now to actually evolve new animals. If we do a sequel to this project, then probably Jjmpart will actually have driven into Abos completely and we'll name it something else. Now on Abos there are tons more diverse places and way more forests, spaces in between the continents, and much more. So feel free to remember your flying animals will be able to access the islands around here. Maybe they could become land dwellers. There are many fascinating ways you can experiment with the island rule and stuff. That's all for this video though. Feel free to subscribe and leave a like if you haven't already, and thank you to all of the artists who have been featured in this video. Credit to everyone who has been submitting their animals. We deeply appreciate it. And have an amazing day as always. Goodbye for now.